Tom Baker. All the way, Tom Baker.
Well, definitely Tom Baker.
I really like Tom Baker.
And I think he's got a fantastic voice.
I think he had such a wonderful sense of humour.
And plays the character really well.
And he thought sideways outside the square, and he just brought such reality to the part.
Probably David Tennant.
Probably David Tennant.
My favourite actor for Doctor Who is definitely David Tennant.
Because he was really good and his humour was really quite funny.
I thought he just brought this type of charisma to the character that I don't think anybody else really can portray quite correctly.
Definitely the Daleks.
Obviously the Daleks, like everyone will say the Daleks because they are, next to Doctor Who, they're the most recognisable thing out of Doctor Who ever.
The ones that keep coming back and you just can't seem to get rid of them.
Definitely the Daleks. When I first started watching, I thought they were just giant metal machines, like big pepper pots.
And it used to be Steers. Steers used to be their greatest downfall, but now they can float, so we're kind of all doomed, really.
Wow, that's easy. The Cybermen.
Cybermen. Definitely Cybermen. They're just so fucking crazy.
The old Cybermen freak me out because the masks that show, the head dress thingies, they show no emotion in their characters, so it's quite hard to relate to it, and I think that's the thing that scares most people, is the fact that you can't actually relate to this robot thing.
The first villain or bad person I was ever introduced to was the Cybermen, and they were always like the scariest.
I think the Cybermen are fantastic, and they're so, that precision, and they're totally focused on what they're doing, and nothing can persuade them otherwise. Whereas even with the Daleks, you can, they could be talked out of what they were doing sometimes.
The scene in Attack of the Cybermen when they squeeze that guy's hands and all the blood comes out. It was just...
The devil one was pretty scary.
The one where they have Britain on the back of a big space thing was quite interesting because there were these weird kind of robotic things that they turned their heads, and at one point they were angry and then they were really angry.
The chap that went into the machine and he became younger, then he turned into that huge monster, and I thought that was fantastic. And he was chasing David Tennant around the building and climbing around the walls, and that was good. That was a good one.
In Sontaran Experiment, the first time you see the Sontaran is just weird.
The episode where there are people who are chemically mutated people, like they're doubles, and they look like Voldemort, and I thought that was just a bit odd.
Like every time the Doctor regenerates is pretty an exciting time, except you'll miss the actor that is just left, except for Christopher Eccleston.
The only one I think whose heart really wasn't in it was Christopher Eccleston.
My first memorable moment is in the Christopher Eccleston season.
He was shit.
Is the introduction of Captain Jack Harkness.
The fight scene in the first part of Earthshock with the androids.
You really can't compare the old programs with the new, because I watched it from William Hartnell right through, and that was the technology of the time back in the 60s, but now technology has gone a long way forward. Doctor Who's always got to be credible, and the plots have always been credible. It has never, for me, lost its credibility, because we really don't know what's out there. We don't know if we go faster than time, would it go backwards? There's all these questions. So for me, it feeds my imagination, and I hope that it does that for people for years to come.